Some of you know me as Madame Underwood. I have taught French here at RL the past 4 years. Some of you may know me as Ms. Baon Kui Kui as well. So I have several different names around here. But I have taken a leave of absence for some health issues, which I'll share a little bit of my story with you in just a minute. But my purpose for being here is just to celebrate you and congratulate you for all of your hard work and for choosing such a meaningful field of study and potentially for a career in the future. And I'm really impressed by that. And so I just first wanted to celebrate you for all of your hard work. So give yourselves a round of applause. So those of you that don't know me, like Roma said, I have, Miss Jane says, I've known her for so long. I grew up in CFB, so I went to Country Place and Davis Elementary, and then went to Blaylock Middle School and graduated from Smith, and I was in the band, and so I literally lived and breathed this district, and I love it. So past 4 years, been teaching French, and so this school, this district is really, really special to me. So, on to my story. How many of you, just a quick poll, have either personally been affected by cancer, either by someone that you know, or maybe a family relative, a friend, a neighbor? How many of you have been affected? Ooh, a good show of hands. Wow. So it's definitely prevalent in our lives, even at your young age, to know somebody that has cancer. And for those of you that don't know me before now, you may be surprised to know I have been battling cancer the past 3.5 years. And I may not look like the typical cancer patient right now, but trust me, the struggle has been real the past 3.5 years. So just to kind of share a little bit about my story, I have been battling a cancer called Hodgkin's lymphoma. Has anyone actually heard of lymphoma or knows what it is? A few people. It's cancer of the lymph nodes. And so basically what the lymph nodes do, you have them all over your body, but what the lymph nodes do, think of it as a filtration system for your body. So they take all the bad cells that go in your body, like your germs, sick germs, infections, bacteria, and it flushes it out of your system so you don't get sick. And so that's what the function of the lymph nodes are. And where my cancer started was in the lymph node in the mediastinum area of the body, which is in between the lungs, extending out from the sternum. And so that's where mine started. And it's been a long struggle for the past 3.5 years to try to get myself cured. And so I've done a number of treatments, and since you guys are in biomed, I'm sure you may be interested in some of the cool technology that has come in the last 1.5 years that has been approved on the market to try to help cure. So I did the traditional chemotherapy, radiation, and I was actually working here at Turner while going through that full time, so it was kind of a crazy process. However, I have had a lot of roadblocks, and they haven't worked up until this point. So I did chemo radiation, and then I did what's called an autologous transplant back in 2012. And what that was is I actually used my own cells to rescue myself. So they gave me really high doses of chemotherapy to kind of wipe out all the cells in my body, and then they rescued me with my own cells, which is kind of a really cool technology. And when you think of a transplant, you probably think of surgery, right? Like a major surgery. There was no surgery involved in the transplant. And so it's actually pretty unremarkable. They just hook you up to a machine and they give you back your cells, and they regenerate, and then your body recovers. And so the idea is that kind of wipes out everything in your system, and then you get healthy again. So my cancer actually came right back. I found out that little sucker was pretty aggressive, and so it came right back within 6 months. So I ended up having to do another transplant the next year in 2013. And this time, it was pretty much a miracle. My sister, who is 7 years younger than me, is actually a perfect donor match for my cells. And so she, being the wonderful sister that she is, she donated her cells to help rescue me. So I did a donor transplant, which means I do the same process. You clear out everything in your body, and then her cells are put into my body. And the idea is she's got a really strong, healthy immune system, so maybe her cells can attack and kill my cancer. So that was the idea behind that, which is pretty cool, right? Being in science. I mean, just the fact that your body can even do that is pretty miraculous. So I did that in 2013, and within 6 months, I relapsed again. The cancer came back. And what happens is when you fail a transplant or a treatment, your cells actually become more resistant, which is, I don't know if you've studied that in your science classes, but basically it wipes out all the weak cells, and then the only thing that are left are the super strong little suckers that will not go away, and then they replicate. So your body actually creates a harder form of cancer to cure. So in November 2013, I did a brand new cutting edge technology called a donor lymphocyte infusion. This was pretty much my last shot. And you want to talk about roadblocks. I've had a lot of roadblocks, but this literally is the cutting edge in technology. And what it is they took it was just a shot, and they took my sister's T cells, which are in your white blood cells, and they are the super fighters of infection, and they are the attackers. So I got a big, super high dose concentration of her T cells, and that was back in November. And the idea is that they are really aggressive and that they'll attack the cancer cells. And guess what? They did. They attacked them very, very hard. The other thing, they have not been able to do this in science yet. Hopefully that is to come in the future. But they cannot distinguish the bad cells from the good cells. So while it attacked my cancer cells, it also attacked my good cells. My vital organs like my gut, my stomach, my skin, my eyes. It attacked everything. And so I was in the hospital in December for 5.5 weeks. And I was literally, my doctor said I was 1 foot in the grave. I almost did not make it. Yet I am standing here in front of you now, 4 months later, and despite all of these roadblocks, after a 35% chance to live, to almost dying in the hospital, I am standing in front of you, and I have a little surprise. I just had a PET scan, and last week I found out that I am 100% cancer-free. It worked. I'm trying not to cry. It is the first time that I've gotten a scan after 6 months. It's always come back. This was the 6-month mark from back in November when I had this procedure. This procedure would not have been available if it weren't for medical professionals that were innovative and forward-thinking and coming up with new ways and better ways to treat resistant cancer that does not get treated by the traditional methods. And I would not be alive and standing here if it weren't for that cutting-edge technology, and also for persevering, because you probably know you've faced roadblocks in your life, and I've had many. Like I said, the struggle has been real over the past 3.5 years, and I could have given up. You know, I could have said, you know what, chemo didn't work, radiation didn't work, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. But you don't give up. I mean, I like to say, if plan A doesn't work, don't forget that there's 25 more letters in the alphabet, so you don't give up. And if I had given up, I wouldn't be standing here now. And so when you face roadblocks, and you will in life, what are you going to do? That's really what defines what kind of person you are. Are you going to give up? Or are you going to problem solve and figure it out. And so that's what my doctors did. They did not give up on me. The nurses did not give up on me. I did not give up on me. My family didn't. And so I'm standing here today in front of you speaking 4 months after literally almost not making it in the hospital. So I'm trying not to cry, but it's a really great feeling. And so this field that you have chosen to study and potentially make a career out of is so important, and you are going to make such a difference in people's lives, just like those people. And this is from the biologists, the chemists that are mixing the drug therapies, the nurses that took care of me in the hospital and every day encouraged me, get up out of bed, nourish yourself, take care of yourself, from the techs that help, when you need to get a shower. I mean, every part of the medical team and field has contributed to me being here in front of you today. So I'm just very honored to be able to speak to you and tell you that what you are doing means so much, and I'm a living example of that, and you are going to make a difference in so many people's lives. And so I just applaud you for all of your hard work, and thank you for giving me the chance to speak to you today, and good luck in all of your studies. And for those of you graduating, good luck in college, and I hope you really do make a difference in people's lives like they have made a difference in mine. So thank you.